Press record. Press record.
Rula,
Let's
you are
do this.
excited to be here today. Hello.
Hello. I couldn't wait to be here today. It's been a tough week, and I couldn't wait to have our recording and enjoy some fun time.
I always enjoy our time together. Sometimes I think, I got to record episodes, but we jump on and you're like, oh, yeah, it's Rosie and Rula. It's just always such a joy. I don't ever feel like, oh, I got to talk to Rula again. Ew, you know? You're not like that annoying work colleague.
Oh,
yeah.
The annoying work colleague that you have to talk to. And then your boss would tell you, you have to make it work. You have to collaborate. You have to have a good communication. And deep down inside of you, you're like, this work colleague, I wouldn't want it in my life ever. But I have to work with this person.
Okay, how do we, I think this should be a question, okay? Because I've started teaching again.
Welcome to the Rosie and Rula show. Marhaba.
G'day. So listeners, I'm an ex-teacher. I guess I'm not ex anymore, but I did my teaching degree. I taught for 2 years, decided it wasn't for me and swore I'd never go back. So the last year I taught was the end of 2016. It's now 2025 and I've just done some relief teaching this week. Oh my God, shock to the system. But I think it relates to this thing about colleagues that you don't really want to work with, but you have to. Because kids come up to you and they're like, so-and-so was mean to me. They did this, they kicked me, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I feel like saying, yeah, well, that kid's an asshole, you know, just go hit him back. Like sometimes you just think, yeah, but you got to go, you know what? You know, they got to talk it out and say sorry and we all just got to get along and be respectful. Is that, like, are we teaching our kids the right thing?
I was thinking, why didn't you ask this kid, so what did you do for the other one to kick you? Where's your responsibility in this?
That's actually a very good question, isn't it? There's usually a reason. You know what can work is you get both sides of the story. Everyone has to listen to each person and then we go from there. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Kid today, I'm turning into a teacher already, talking about students. Kid today, he was being naughty and kind of doing a bit of a handstand on the wall when he was meant to be sitting down and listening. And I was walking over about to tell him off, sit down, when another student came over and kicked the boy who was doing this handstand in the foot. And so the boy who kicked the other boy got in trouble because I saw him kick the other one. And he said to me, yeah, but they're not meant to be doing a handstand. I said, I know, but do you think kicking him was the right thing to do? Because you've hurt him now. And he just stares at me. He wasn't meant to be doing it. I said, well, what else could you have done? And he couldn't think of it. I said, what if you used your words? I said, I was coming over to talk to him, to tell him to sit down, but you decided to kick him. Anyway, so I made him apologise, and then the other student got in trouble too for doing his handstand. But, like, I don't know. Sometimes I just think, sometimes I feel like kicking people too.
I think you were very offended that this little boy took over your job. You should have kicked the boy. No, I'm kidding. I don't mean that. Know what I'm thinking, Rosie, is that boy who wants to do handstand, probably this is his way in listening. We want every child to sit upright and listen.
So true.
But this doesn't work to every kid.
See, this is something I struggle with too. Right. This is something I struggle with too because I believe what you're saying. I'm an advocate for that. But then I've found myself back in the school system and it's really hard to buck the system and go, well, hey, maybe it's helping that student listen. In this case, I think he was just being a dickhead, to be honest. But what do I know? I actually don't know this student very well. He was from a different class. So Yeah. Why don't we
Yeah.
let kids be themselves? Like, yes, they need to be able to behave in a way that they can learn and others can learn, but that doesn't necessarily mean sitting on the floor cross-legged staring at the teacher for 6 hours a day.
Mm. And this reminds you why you didn't like teaching, because you have
Oh,
to
damn
follow a
straight.
system
Oh,
and you cannot
yeah.
be creative. You cannot bring your new thoughts. It's not accepted
Yeah.
because there's danger in this. All kids have to follow one system, one way of thinking, one material, because if we deviate, we are in danger. And this is what's happening now in our societies. Everyone feels that we don't want the system, we want something different. But because we're not trained from a young age to feel free and think freely, we go to the extremes because we start searching what we want. And the school systems are painful. I have a friend and I really want to record an episode for my podcast with her. She was living here in the Netherlands and she's American. She moved to America with her husband. Her husband is Dutch. And
Yeah.
they started homeschooling. And now with their community, they are homeschooling and they have like students, 60 kids.
Wow.
And they're all parents. And so when I talked to her, I told her, when I hear homeschooling, because it's like outside of my world, it feels like it's an Amish community or people in Utah, the Mormons are homeschooling. It doesn't sound to me something attractive. But then she
Right.
explained to me what they do and how they teach and what they teach. And I was like, this is a world I misunderstood completely.
Wow.
It's so beautiful. So they do nature, biology in nature.
Yeah.
You know,
Learning by doing.
it's about doing. The kids don't have a class for 8 hours to sit in. No, they take them outside to move and learn. And this is the school I think that you are missing. And
That
I
would be
hope
cool.
we
I got
have.
so many things to unpack about my experience this week. I feel like there could be a couple of episodes here. I need some fucking therapy, Rula. Seriously. You need to be my therapist. And listeners, you're just coming along for the ride. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. I like that you're a rebellion, but in a good way. You're not you don't want to destroy the system. You want to improve it. You want to adjust
Right. I want a
it to
revolution.
where we are
Yeah.
today. Yeah. But you find yourself when you're at school, you find yourself behaving like everyone else.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Absolutely. So that's a real, like, it's confronting. You're like, oh, I preach all this stuff and then now I'm in a position where I can start implementing and I'm reverting to the norm. It's hard.
I don't know how many persons can say in all their school years before university, because when we go to university and we still find inspiring people somehow. But I find it hard to find people telling me from the primary school, middle school, high school, if they ever had or the percentage of an inspiring teacher or a teacher that made them want to do something. Of course, they exist, but they are the minority.
Yeah, this is true. I would love to be that teacher for somebody. It's I think it's really tough to do. I try my best. Who knows how well I do, but hey,
Yeah.
I think I've got to know some of the students, seem to have a bit of rapport. You know, there's the certain names you bring up all the time, but I think we had fun. I definitely felt incompetent many times. I also had the thought of, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. I hate this many times. But I also had fun. So
how you deal with, let's say, the difficult children is your style. And this is where you need to work on and figure out, how can I make this kid, instead of resisting listening, enjoy listening.
Right.
And you don't need
yeah.
approval from the other teachers to do this, because that will be your rapport, your style. This is what makes you stand out for the kids.
It's a good point. And I think that's why I care so much about developing relationships with the kids first. There's this saying in teaching in Australia, I'm sure there's something similar in all countries, don't smile before Easter. So you've
I
got to
have
be
no idea
really
what that is.
stern. It means, so there's academic year here starts in January, ends in December, and Easter is about a third of the way through the year, or a quarter. No, about a third of the way through the year. Don't smile before Easter. So if you want your class to respect you, you've got to be stern. You've got to be strict. You can't be friendly. There's none of that. Don't smile before Easter. Otherwise, you are doomed. I don't
This
subscribe
is
to that.
leading with fear, not with respect.
Yeah, yuck. Exactly. I think it's harder work to lead with respect and, have a good relationship with the kids compared to just being a dictator and, using fear to get them to behave. I don't like that.
Yeah.
It works, but wow, that's horrible.
It doesn't work all the time. It works with some kids. And this is why some kids don't do well
True.
at school, because they dread. Can you imagine if you dread going and teaching? How many kids dread going to school because they don't like the
That's
teacher?
a good point. That's such a good point. Yeah. Oh, that's sad. Working with colleagues you don't like, having to put up with kids at school you don't like as a teacher and a student.
And Rosie, it's not about bashing teachers and students.
No.
It's about the system that even doesn't fit the personality of the teacher. You study teaching, you study something, you want to become a teacher to make a difference. And then you end up in a system and you feel you are as trapped in the system as the kids.
Yes.
But we have to do it because whatever certification we have at the end, we need it. This is the first hurdle to get into life. And if we don't have this paper or have this education, but it doesn't have to be university, it could be apprenticeship, it could be anything. But this is the paper that make us step a bit further.
True, that's how society works, right? Qualification, move forward, do this, which I don't particularly subscribe to that, but yeah. Ew.
Shall we
Okay,
wrap
I think
it
I've
up,
had
Rosie?
enough. Yeah, I've had enough of talking about school and teachery. Yeah.
Yes, but it's good. It's good. Some people are listening. They are teachers. They are students, and they're hating us now.
Parents too. See ya. If you got a kick out of our conversation today, can you pretty please hit the follow button and share it with another opinionated person? This is the easiest way for you to support the show. It also gives Rula and I the motivation
Rosie,
to keep
I have
going.
to stop you there. Stop telling people what to do. If they like to follow the show and share it, it's totally up to them. Guys, please, can you help us follow and share the show? Thank you so much. See you next time.
Said.